Hello, hello, my friends. Happy Monday night. Hope you are having a good, well, the week has just started. So, how about a good day? Uh, Lots going on. It's taken me a minute here to get everything set up. I think we're good. I'm looking to see. No, I can't tell if you're on Facebook or not. I'm just going to guess that you are. So, if you're here, let me know. Remember, I always record these and they're on YouTube. So, if you miss the live one, don't worry. Um, Let me just see what's happening. Okay, everything looks good. Tonight we are talking about simple titles. And I stuttered a little bit because I was thinking we're really talking about our simple SVGs. Simple SVGs are basically a combination of photo mats and a layout that you cut with your Cricut that has everything all set up for you. So all you have to do is then add your photos and your embellishments and all the foof that you want to add, your favorite papers. But the idea of where things are going to go is already done for you. I offer them with both with a shadow and the photo mat layer. Some of us like the shadow. You don't have to use that. You can if you want. But they're not necessarily specific to a theme. Some are, but sometimes each month each month I offer a bundle. And the bundle can be used, there are at least 5 2-page layouts. Hey, Susan, I'm glad it's there. And you can use them for lots of different things and over and over and over again. Do a little maneuvering with them. Tonight, we're going to be working with some titles that are also available. But one more thing that I'm also going to do with you, and then I'll stop talking about what I'm going to do and actually do it. Someone asked a question in one of the Facebook posts today. Can I show you how to do something in Design Space to create a title? And she sent me a picture. Sure, we're going to do that too. So lots of things to do with titles and using Design Space to help us in our scrapbooking world. It's funny when I go into some other Facebook groups where people are using Cricuts, they are not doing what my brain says a Cricut can do. Like, a lot of people make a title, and what they do is cut out a bunch of letters and then line them all up and glue them down. I don't think that way at all. My brain says, make your title look like this. You know, it's already done for you. Like, that's how I make titles. So I'm going to show you how. And I'm going to show you how to get, if you like this one, and how to get it. They're really not hard. I'm also going to tell you why I think sometimes I go to Etsy and buy a title, or I go to Creative Fabrica and buy something already done for me. Sometimes it's just easier, and it's worth the few dollars to then have something that you want. Oh, good, Lana. I wasn't on there yet when you asked me. I was trying to get there, but I wasn't there yet. So you didn't miss anything. I just got here. I wish it would tell you, and I don't know why it doesn't. It's always on my page. That's the only place I can share and see that you are here. So I always put it on my page. It's not ever in a group. And I don't know why the notifications don't tell you, but you're not the first one to hear that, to say that. I hear that a lot. Facebook is just its own little animal. But they are always there later, and they are always on YouTube. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, I'm going to bring you into my computer. This is just a little housekeeping. I have had hey, Bonnie, yay, good. I have had an online classroom forever. Since baby bugs and cartridges, forever. And just this past week, I decided that, well, I didn't just decide this week, but it's happened. My old classroom, anything that you were enrolled in prior to this week, it's still there. It didn't go anywhere. The only difference is after the 1st of May, I can't add any more content to that classroom, and no new people can enroll. I have found that we are now a much more instant group, not just you, but when we want something, we want it now. We don't want to wait till it's going to be live in 2 weeks. We don't want to wait till the next class is going to be uploaded. We want it now. So what I have done, and this is going to take me a little bit of time. If any of you are teachers, you know how long it takes you to set up your classroom. I have moved and started to move everything to just caramiller.com. So if you've not been there before, it may not show because it's a white background, but it's caramiller.com. And this is where the classes will be going forward. Not now, they're not there now. You just scroll down and you will see, I'm breaking it into categories. So this is where classes to go are. They're not there yet, but they're going to be there. Remember, if you've enrolled in one on Teachable, you can still log in and you will see it. So don't freak out that you lost everything. You didn't. It's still there. I just can't make it, it won't change from the way it is right now. I won't be adding anything new there, and no new students can enroll. So new classes will start to pop up here over the next few weeks. You'll be able to download them right away to your computer when you purchase one or enroll in one, whatever you want to call it. You'll be able to download all the class material right away, and then you can use it at your convenience. All my SVGs are in here now, and you'll be able to download those as you do. I haven't moved them yet. They're coming. And I'll keep talking to you about where to find things, but the best thing you need to know is just go to caramiller.com. Just easier than all those other things. One place, one-stop shop. Everything should be here. The link to my Stampin' Up site is right here. Those of you that asked for catalogs, hey Tammy, you know who you are. I don't think I have any extras, but I'll let you know if I do. They are all packaged, and we'll be heading to the post office hopefully tomorrow. And they should be to you. They're coming priority mail, so I would think by the weekend you should have them. They're not, you can't shop until May 1st, so you haven't missed a thing. You'll have a good 2 weeks to make your lists and figure out what your favorites are. The catalog this time is really different. And on May 1st, I will go through it with you too so that you can see. I'm not going to go ahead of time because I can't. We have to keep it secret. But those of you that asked, they're packaged and they'll be coming. If you didn't ask already, then you don't know what I'm talking about. So skip over that. Stampin' Up. Next, let me bring you, I guess I'll bring you into Cricut. This is, let me scroll down. This is the SVG that we're working with tonight. This one. It's the Kick Little Leggies, Go, 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 and I'll have to tell you sometime about why. What's really small? Susan, what's small? Keep telling me. Tell me and I'll keep going. This is the title that we're going to work with. So I'm going to download it and bring it into Cricut and then show you. I need to get bigger. Oh, the catalog. Well, yeah, it doesn't have a lot of product. It has a lot of, I think it's more of a informational rather. I don't know. It is definitely different and it's a little tricky to find things, I think. But I've become so accustomed to using the online store that the catalog I don't necessarily, I don't know. It's interesting. Change is scary. We're all doing a lot of change here this week. And what I posted in my my scrapbook group, I have a membership group for scrapbookers, and I posted in there this week that I'm really glad that my SVGs are mine and they're still here because some of the changes I'm just not a huge fan of. But hey, we can use our Cricut and SVGs and Design Space and we can make it say whatever we want. So let me show you how. You go into the store, you download your SVG. When you say add to the bag, you go to the checkout. There's different ways to check out. Once you've logged in, you'll be able to look at my account once you've ordered, and you can see what you have ordered in the past, right? These are things I tested a lot, so I tend to pick those. I don't buy them for myself, but when you have purchased and you use the same email, scroll down to the bottom and click my account. Now it's going to start to build, but those of you that have bought from me before will see more, but they might not be as current because the store is being completely updated. But anywho, from today forward, it'll work. So you download it, you save it to your computer. That's the tricky part. Where did I put it? I have to remember. Then you're going to go to upload. And you're going to upload the image. Hey, Jean. That's the wrong one. Hold on. Okay. So let's talk about this bundle. It says it's a title, but you're looking at it going, well, there's a tag and there's a standalone embellishment. There's more than just a title. There is. There will be 2 to 3 pieces to each of these titles as we go forward. This bundle. This is so when they come in, they're grouped together. We need to do a few things to tell Cricut what we want it to do. For example, if I don't do anything, Cricut's going to cut everything out, and I'm telling you, this girl is going to end up looking like confetti on your table. That's not what you want. You want Cricut to write, to draw her. Cricut can. He's pretty cool. But we have to tell it. So the first thing you're going to do is ungroup. Okay? Now I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click that little layer, and it's going to show me there's 2 layers to this. There's the basic shadow layer in the back, and then there is the actual girl with the bubbles. That's what I want Cricut to draw. If you look up here, you'll see it's a cut. Drop down, you're going to say pen. Now Cricut says, oh, okay, I'm going to draw that. But if I don't tell Cricut where to draw it, it's just going to write it on a blank mat. It's not going to know what to do because, you know, she's not that smart. So select this whole thing, the background layer, and the layer you just changed to draw, and you're going to tell Cricut attach. That tells it, oh, I got it. Okay, so now I'm going to draw her on this background layer, and we'll be good to go. All right, so there's step 1. We're going to do the same thing with these bubbles over here. We are going to click on just the bubbles. We're going to change those to a draw layer. We're going to select the tag and the bubbles, and we're going to tell Cricut to attach. So now we're telling Cricut, all right, I want you to draw those bubbles on this tag, then cut it out. All right, so those 2 are good. What are we going to do with this title? We're going to make sure that Cricut draws this girl on this background. And I made it pink, but you can make it any color that you want. Same thing. Get to all the layers. I'm going to go to the girl, the drawing, but I want Cricut to draw it, not cut it. So I'm going to come up here and say pen. And now I can't just attach, because then I'm going to attach this layer. And this is a layer I need to do by hand. So I'm going to ungroup this again. I'm going to take this white little individual letters down, and I'm going to select this part. Nope, I don't want all of it. Cricut, pay attention. I want the pink and the girl, and I want to attach those. Now, before you get carried away, let's go see what happened. Make sure Cricut understands what we want. What you see is what you get. If it looks wrong now, it's going to be wrong when it actually gets cut. We're going to say make. Cricut is now offering you the option to save your project right now. If you have a funky, a funky internet that tends to quit just when you think, or maybe your computer is kind of got a lot of things going on, the safest solution is to tell Cricut, yes, please save this. If you know it's fine and you don't mind redoing what we just did and do the work again, you don't need to save it. You're not going to lose the SVG. Never. It will always be where you downloaded it on your computer, and it will always be uploaded into Design Space. But the changes that we made, changing it to draw, all of those things, they won't be saved. So to be safe, you can tell Cricut, yep, save this now. And I'm going to change it to Swimming Girl. Title, a bundle. And I'm going to look down here, and I have a lot of categories because I have an Access membership. If you don't, you only have 5. I think it's 5. Save. So now if something were to happen and my computer has a hiccup, or I want to do this another time, I can come back and do it. It's now sorting it and putting it on the mats. So this is how Cricut's going to do it. Look over here. It says pen, cut. So this is going to write and then cut. This is going to draw this girl, write, and then it's going to cut out around her. It's just going to cut those little white letters. And then the second load of the mat is going to be whatever color I decide, and then draw her on that. Okay? All right. I did all this already, so we don't have to watch it again. I'm going to bring you down to see what we've got going on here. Now, the reason this title came about was my granddaughters are in Arizona visiting their other Grammy, and I got a video yesterday of Rosie, who's 2, swimming in the pool, saying to herself, "Kick, little leggies, go, go, go," and I loved it. So it became a title. So let's move some of this out of here. Let's move Rosie. This is one of the simples in the April bundle. But the way it was designed to go this way. That's layout 1. And then there's another one for this side. This is going to hold 4 photos. This is the layout. But notice my photo is vertical. It doesn't work. Well, it sure does, because I'm just going to turn this little bugger this way. So now my photo goes here. And then I'm going to put my other photos over here, right? Okay, let's play with our title for a minute. So here is our title. Let me zoom you in so you can see her. I don't know, is it better on the paper? Maybe better on the paper. She came out looking like this. And I've already colored her in using my Stampin' Blends. I used some Calypso Coral. I don't have my skin color one, so she's looking a little orangey. Pretend she got fake tan. I did order, there's a really good collection of skin colors. I just don't have them yet. And I didn't do a lot of shading or anything, just some simple coloring. I colored in the bubbles with some Lost Lagoon. This is that title. It's the individual letters, and I had to glue each one down. I know, but it's cool. It tells me where they go. So I don't have to try and figure out, well, is the spacing right? Where did they go? I've got it all there. It's already, it looks like this, right? I know, isn't it fun? I used light pumpkin pie. It worked. This is actually, I don't remember its name, but it's the back of one of the papers that I would have thought was, oh, that's pretty. It's flowers. Let's bring our simple in though. So now the simple comes like this. This is literally simple. You could do whatever you want. You could add a stamp to it. You could add a sticker. Lots of options you can do. But sometimes it's almost too much to try and figure that out. A lot of times if you could do whatever you want is overwhelming, and so we just don't do anything. We just don't bother. So I will help you with these and show you some ideas so that hopefully you won't be paralyzed when you cut these out. I recommend that you cut out your simples, and then I use white. If I don't have the shadow with this one because I didn't think I needed it. If you want the shadow and you want to just have a generic version that'll work with anything, you can use some smoky slate. You can use black, or just don't bother cutting out the shadows until you decide if you need it. And then you could coordinate it to match better if you're a matchy-matchy person. One of the reasons I love Stampin' Up! Is I can make everything match. I can make my ink match, my Calypso Coral can match this, can match my Stampin' Blends. Everybody matches. Everybody's happy, right? All right, so this is my 4x6 photo, just the way it printed. I've told you before, I use the HP Sprocket printer. No, I'll try and get it over here, see if my plug's long enough. Is it? Ooh, maybe. This is the Sprocket. I've used the Selfie before. The reason I switched to the Sprocket is I found I couldn't get my Selfie app to update enough, and I was wasting more photos. So that's just me. I like the Sprocket's been great. They both do the same thing. They're very similar. And I've done, you know, like the whole Walgreens photos or the Walmart photos. They're great. They do wonderful. I then end up with a whole box full of photos that just never seem to suit what I want. This way, I can print out exactly what I want. Scrapbooking, I've done a couple of blog posts about it. Scrapbooking is not your mama's scrapbooking anymore. We used to take our photos, go to the drugstore and pick up that yellow packet of photos, and there'd be like 12, maybe 24 photos in there. And they were all, you know, maybe half of them were in focus. So you only had a few photos to print or to work with. I have that many in an hour now. We take tons of photos. You can't possibly print and scrapbook everything. So pick your faves. Okay, so here's this. I'm not going to put it down yet. I'm going to put my title down. My title's going to go right there. Now, again, these didn't go together. I could have used a different simple if I wanted, depending on the photos that I had and the design. But these guys work together now. I like them. So I'm going to attach you to my background. Now, if I already had my photos all picked out, I might do all my photos at once. But since I don't, I'm going to show you another trick to that too. I want to make sure that I have enough room for you, Missy. All right, you're going to go. A couple of things you can do with your title, because your title's like this, you know, it's like super cool. I can figure out where it's going to go. I can move it around. I can also use my dimensionals on it. They're not that dimensionally, but they're going to give it a little height. Even when I pop it into my page protector, it's still going to be cool. Now, if you're sitting here thinking, yeah, I don't scrapbook. I just don't. I don't have time. I don't want to do that. Okay. Grab yourself a sweet little 12 by 12 frame. Amazon has a bunch. I'll put the links later next time I'm shopping, always. And just do one layout a month or a week and change it up when you're sick of it. Instead of just sticking the photo on the refrigerator, come on, it doesn't have to do that. You can make it look really cool, right? Don't just clip it on the refrigerator with a magnet. I know I do it too. But do this, and then you could have this hanging, and it looks really cool, and it's colorful, and it adds decor, right? Okay, we also have this sweet little tag. I am including journaling tags for several reasons. I've been posting about, it just feels like memories need to be saved. If you don't write them down or you don't share it, you won't remember it. If I sit down with my kids and go back through, I have 5, but they're now grown and have kids of their own. But when we go back and talk about things, the memories that are the most vivid are the ones that were photos. Some of the others you might remember because it was in a video, But if you don't have something to jog your memory, it tends to fade. And these are silly. I'm going to look at this picture and remember that video of Rosie, even though I don't have the video on this page. So you can write that story on here. If you hate your handwriting, Cricut can write it, but your handwriting's okay. Then I have these spaces over here. Well, remember I showed you this girl. She could go right here. I could do another one, and she's bigger. She could go on the second layout over here, or I have another place for her, which I will show you in a minute. These photos are, when you get your Simple, it will tell you what size they are. The Simples all, you can't even see this. I have some that aren't pulled up yet. They come with this protective coating on them. They are sized to fit Simples, these photo cropping templates. If you don't have these, ask me about them. They're super cool. I don't like trying to figure out a photo cropping program that I have to do it on my computer. Susan, they so will. Your kids will appreciate that you actually wrote it and they can see your handwriting later. I love it when I can see my mom's handwriting on things or my Graham's. I just think that's just jogs those memories. So write them. Who cares? It's for you. It's not to go in publicity. It's for you. And it is your handwriting, and it's the way that you write notes to them. These help you cut the photo down. So I have this, I only have this one photo from Arizona, but it doesn't really show Rosie's face that much. But I have this one. We swim a lot here. And it's not always as pretty. This is in a lake, not the pool. But it's got Rosie and her legs and her hair and all those parts that I want to show. So this crop fits this shape. Perfect. But if I pop it on here to crop, I either get her hair or her legs. Oh, but what if I just do this? What if I just twist it just a little? I don't need all the poofy hair, but I do need the feet, right? So I figure out the best spot, the best way to do it. This is what the photo cropping lets you do. You couldn't do this, well, you could, in a program, but your head would hurt. I'm not a mathy person. I don't like math. I don't like trying to figure it all out. So I have created this system that makes it, well, simple. So I just take it, hold my scissors and snip, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, you're cutting your photo. I just printed it. Print more. Just cut straight along the edge. And I promise you, if I hadn't shown you this photo first, you wouldn't realize that I cropped it, or that I cropped it diagonally either. You would not know that if you hadn't seen what I just did. And I'm going to pop that right there. Right? Now I get to see sweet little puss. I'm going to write the story of what happened. I'm going to put her in the middle, I think. And I'm going to probably I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put this one here. And I'll find another photo that'll go in here. Or if I don't find photos, then I'll journal right here. Okay? I could, if I don't find another one, I could put this here. I could add this to my journaling here. If I trim this down with my little cropping thing, I could crop that so you don't even see the top, right? And just snip that right off with my scissors. Don't be stuck saying, well, it doesn't work for me. Make it work. There's that. I wanted to show you one other thing that I said we could do. Just because we've been talking about scrapbooking a lot doesn't mean that I forgot how to make cards. I didn't. So here is our card, our card base. Remember these, this is not a Cricut. This is 8.5 by 11, cut in half, right? So now it's 4 1/4. I'm sorry. And now it's 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. There's my card. This is my chopped 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put that down. There's YouTube videos that show how to set your paper up like this if you don't remember or you're new to this channel. So there's that. This is Calypso Coral. Remember I said everything coordinates. This is 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And this is going to go right in the middle of my card. And then, remember that other girl, that bigger embellishment that I did? This one? Yeah, this one's going to go on my card. Right? So I'm going to color her in. I'm going to grab my... So Cricut did this one. If I had a stamp, I could have used a stamp, but I didn't have this girl in a stamp format. And I wanted this to go on my card. So, don't feel like if you order that title that you're stuck using it just as a title. These are lots of different ways you can use it. This is going to go right here on my card. Right? She needs to be colored, but I'll get to that. And of course, I've lost my stamp. You know I would. Huh. I'm supposed to be using the Smile stamp from, oh, here she is. It was over there. I lose these all the time. So this is from Love This Moment, which if you're a scrapbooker, this is a great stamp set. And I don't know if it's retiring. I should, but I don't. So we'll have to check because it's a really good scrapbooky one. It's got lots of really cool, I've used this one a bunch before with you, but it's got little sayings. They're really small, but they're great because they'll fit just under a photo. They'll fit, let me come back with this. We'll do two things at once here. They'll fit right here, right? So they're really cool to add. We've got enough room on our spaces of our frames to put them. Yeah, let me get my... Where? Oh, where? Why can't I find anything today? Oh, there it is. Sorry. My memento. And my smile. And now this is a really custom card. Nobody's going to have a card like this one because you are combining all your skills. Your stamping, your cricketing, your coloring. Seriously, no one's going to believe how cool you are. And you're just going to stamp Smile right there. And now you have a really unique card. To color this girl, let me just do a little bit with you. I use the thicker end of the blend. There's a more markery kind of end, but I like the thicker one. And light strokes. This is just a Cricut pen. I haven't found it smearing at all. It's just the regular Cricut marker that fits in my maker. If you happen to notice on my, I don't know if I shared it everywhere today, as a matter of fact. I was so excited today that today is craft day at HSN and I don't shop there anymore because I don't need to. I have enough. But today's special value was a scrapbook kit from Anna Griffin. And I was just so ecstatic that we haven't had a whole scrapbooky thing on HSN in a dog's age. And I'm so excited to see that they are showcasing scrapbooking today. Because I'm still a scrapbooker. And I know some of you still are too. So even though some people say it's dead, I don't think so. And then if you want to add some shading, you can get, that was the light one, you can get the darker one. And what I do when I'm going to shade is I'm going to use what the stamp artist used. So whatever lines the artist put in, I'm going to use those, and that's where I'm going to go with my darker shading. And you can see that it adds a little more dimension to her. And then I'm going to use this was trickier. This is the skin, and I'm using light pumpkin pie. Right? Susan is the best card mailer that I know. She's really consistent and really good. But honestly, getting a card from Susan is such a treat. When I go to the mailbox and it's not a bill, it's a card, I love it. Your Easter one is still hanging on my fridge, Susan. And I'm not hanging text messages up there. Notice how you just kind of give this a little, it's a super light hand, it's not, and this isn't beautiful coloring. It's just there. You don't want to get super close to the edge. But you know what? If you mess it up, just go print another one. Cricut did it. So you could just cut another one if you don't like it. Oh, it was beautiful. You have to be kind of careful when you're doing these skinny legs, because if you get too close to the edge, and I would recommend that you do it before you glue it down on the card like I did, because, you know, I like to live life dangerously over here. See, it's not hard. It's not, it's just a light hand. Don't do it if you've had too much coffee. And there's your card, ready to go. So all this was done from that one SVG bundle that gave you your title, this title. It gave you this girl, and we also got this tag, okay? All right, cool. I want to go back quick and answer the question that someone posted on our Facebook page. She wanted to know, how do you do a title in Design Space? So let's do that quick. I'm going to cancel all out of here, and we're going to start with a new one. Remember, when you say new, it like wipes everything away, and if you didn't save it, it's really gone. The SVG though, remember I was saying it's not there? It's still there under upload, right? See, it's right here. Nothing happened. All right, so the question was, I want to create a title that says what I want it to say. So I'm going to go into text, and I recommend that you start with a Cricut text to start with. Once you're more comfortable with it, you can get carried away and download fonts from the internet. One of the things I will tell you though is, just because it's a cute font that looks really good in a word processing program or on a website or whatever, maybe cut from vinyl even, it doesn't look good when you cut it with paper. So if you stick with the Cricut fonts, you will have better results. It eliminates some of the negativity that might happen. Any of my SVG fonts that I give you, I have tested to be sure that they will work. If I feel like they're too tiny or they're too detailed, I will tell you that and tell you that you should use your pen and let Cricut write them, like that lady that we just did, or cut it from vinyl. Generally, I make sure that paper can cut. Oh, and paper makes a difference too. If you are trying to cut a basil textured paper and a thin font, it's not going to work very well. So I love Stampin' Up! Paper. It works really well. I used to love Close to My Heart paper, but hey, they've joined. Something cool's coming. I don't know exactly what. I'm excited. So we'll see. But Stampin' Up! Paper is amazing to cut with. My Cricut loves it. All right, so let's say I want Summer Fun as my title, okay? I'm happy with that. I like that. What size do I need? Let's say I need it to be 8 inches long. So I'm going to come up here to the width, and I'm going to change it to 8. It's going to be an inch, almost an inch and a half tall. But I don't want it to just be like that. I want to add a shadow to it. I want an offset to it. So I'm going to come up here to offset. Now, Cricut has it defaulted to what I think is kind of big. It's 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to come down a little bit. Now it's 2 individual titles. I'm going to say apply so you can see it. Let's change that to an orange. And let's change our black to a dark orange. All right. Remember, what you see is what you get. That's what your title's going to look like. But when I go to put it down on my page, I'm going to have to do some work because I'm going to have to figure out how straight that is to make sure that I line them up evenly. It's going to be 2 pieces. This is going to be 1 and this is 2, summer and fun, and I have to line them up. I told you I don't like to measure. So often what I'll do is I will add a second shadow to this. One way to do that, I can now pick an offset. And notice, hold on, I don't like that one. It wasn't quite big enough. If it's, let's go just a whisker bigger. And apply. Notice now, this is all one. You change this to white so you can see. See, it's all connected. So now I could put this down. So now I've made like this super duper 3-layer title, but it looks really cool, right? And it also helps me because I know how to position things. I don't have to try and figure out, well, how far apart should they be? Are they straight? Where did they go? So I like this idea of, and when I go to cut it, Cricut's going to cut 3, I don't need to save it because I'm playing with it. Cricut's going to cut 3 different loads of the mat, 3 different colors, the white layer, the highlight, the really dark layer, and then that medium in the middle layer, okay? Cricut cuts by color. So I could do all kinds of fun things with this. I could break this apart if I wanted to and do a letter in each color. Wait, how do you do that? I bring you down here. I am going to see this advanced right here. Now, don't touch the sizing. Don't mess with your sizes now, but go to advanced and ungroup to letters. Now each one is an individual letter. See them all over here? So I'm going to leave you that color. I'm going to change you to yellow. I'm going to change you to green. You to red. Now, granted, Cricut's not going to cut these this way, but it's going to tell me to load each one onto a different mat. Did I do that blue? No. Okay. So now my title looks like this. Right? I'm going to show you one more trick in a minute. Let's say, you know, I really like this, but holy moly, I don't want to glue all these letters down. I really don't. I mean, it looks good, but yucca. Now I'm going to have to glue them all together and play with it, and it's going to be a lot. I don't know, right? All right. Let's take you down here. Let's take you. We're going to let this still cut because that's going to tell us where everything goes. I'm going to take you. Nope. Move you out of the way. I'm going to take you, and we're going to group you. So now I don't have to try and catch them all. And I'm going to take you. I might want to change it to a different color, but for right now, let's just leave it. And I'm going to group, whoops. You and group. And now, I'm going to bring you guys up. Whoa, no. If you mess up the size like that, I don't want that to happen. Undo. I'm going to bring summer down right here. I don't mind gluing 3 letters. I'm okay with that. So I want to get fun away from summer. I just want summer. I want this over here separate. So I'm going to have to do some slicing, because notice I don't have that option to break apart anymore by letters or anything. I don't have that option. So, because it's a shadow, I'm going to move you down here out of our way. I'm going to take you and I'm going to grab myself a shape. Bring it over here. Cover up fun. Select Summer Fun and slice it. I'm going to move you out of the way and delete you. Move you and delete you. And now I have this one and this one. Now I was whining. I didn't want to glue all those letters down, right? So I'm going to select those two. I'm going to line them in center, make sure I'm right. I'm going to select them. Stand by. I'm going to flatten them. Now it's a print then cut. Cricut's going to print that out, cut around the orange. Then I'm going to take it. It's going to cut this, right? It's a cut layer out of white. And I'm going to take this printed one and I'm going to glue it right on there. It's going to fit right where I want it. And I can do the same with these if I want. Or I can cut this and I can glue 3 letters. I can handle 3. Which will give it a little bit more dimension, give it a little bit of a different look. It's not going to all look like a sticker. And now I have this super duper title that I just created in this fun way, right? I can then group it. And then what do you think? Would that work? Can I warp it a little? I don't know if it'll do it. Look, really? Right? Cricut amazes me every day. So when I say make it, what's going to happen? It's going to send it over here to the make screen. Oh, it didn't like that. Hold on. That's my fault. Remember when what you see is wrong? It's because I didn't group these individual letters and attach them all. So let's undo the warp thing. I think that might have messed it up too. I think the warp might have done it because I feel like you are okay. Let's try it again. I think the warp made things weird. Yeah, it was the warp. So I guess they can't do that one. Don't get too carried away. But Cricut's going to cut this out. So I'm going to print it. Notice it didn't do that. It wasn't printing and cutting anymore. It's going to print this in my printer, my home printer. I use not the thick basic white, regular basic white. My printer can handle it. And then I'm going to load this in. It's going to print. I'm going to put it on my mat just like that. And Cricut's going to cut around the orange. Then this layer is the white layer. Then this layer is the fun layer. And then when I get them all done, put them all together, I'm going to have this super cool title that is really unique. So please pretend we edited out the warp. Let me show you what happened so that you don't think I'm crazy. I know I went quick by it. You say warp, you pick one. Cricut thanks. But notice what it did. It really made it crazy. This layer doesn't look right. Yeah, it can't print then cut it warped. So it really does mess it up. See, it's really not happy. So the warp is still beta, so skip the warp, okay? You're good if you don't use that, and that's only available if you have an Access membership. Some of these things are good. The offset was really wonky when they first did it, and now it's great. So we'll give them some time. They'll figure it out. But did that help? Or did that make it too confusing because of my warping at the end? Please ignore the warp. In the real world, I would edit that out, but we're live, so no editing. If you have any more questions or other things you want me to try, just ask. I'm happy to do them. I'm here every Monday night, unless I'm at the eclipse. That's where I was last week. We went to see the eclipse. You need a boy? A boy swimmer? All right, I'll work on that. Let me see what I can do. We're new to seasonal camping this year. We did it for years and years and years when our kids were little, but we haven't done it in a long time. And at the end of last year, I've been talking about it a lot, so you probably heard. At the end of last year, we got a camper, new to us, not new, but it'll be great. And it stayed on the seasonal site, which happened to be, it's 2 hours away, but it happened to be in the path of totality over Lake Champlain in Vermont. So we opened up the camper early and we stayed overnight and it was amazing. It was really fun. So the 3 girls, my 2 daughters and a son, went for the 3 day. We spent 3 days, 2 nights. So I wasn't here. I was at the camper. But but generally I'm here on Monday nights. Tammy, I will work on that for you. I'll let you know. You guys have a great night. Thanks for crafting with me, and I will see you again soon. Bye.